Have you ever been told you're just too sensitive? Or maybe you found yourself wondering why a sappy commercial or even a really happy moment can bring you to tears. Well, today we're going to dive into the real psychology behind people who cry easily. And let me tell you, the answer is probably not what you've been led to believe.
Yeah, this is the one we've all heard, right? It's the common stereotype that being quick to tears is some kind of sign that you're fragile or that you just lack control. It's a label that gets thrown around so easily.
But what if all of that is just wrong? What if this tendency isn't a weakness at all? What if it's actually a sign of something much deeper, maybe even something powerful, going on inside your brain?
So let's start by unpacking that whole too sensitive label, because the science behind it tells a completely different story.
Okay, this slide really gets to the heart of it. The myth, the thing we're always told, is that something in your emotional system is broken. But the reality, according to psychology, is that people who cry easily just have a more finely tuned nervous system. It's not a flaw, it's a feature of how you're wired.
What this really means is that your brain isn't overreacting. It's just incredibly efficient at feeling things. So when an emotional event happens, good, bad, you name it, it doesn't get filtered out. Nope, it goes straight in and you experience it more fully and more quickly than most.
So let's build on that idea. We're going to put a scientific name to this whole experience and really look at what it feels like to live with this kind of emotional depth.
So the official term for this is high emotional reactivity. I know, it sounds a little clinical, but all it really means is that you experience the full range of emotions with way more intensity. You don't just observe feelings from a distance, you're completely immersed in them. You absorb them.
And this is what that actually feels like day to day. The good stuff, you feel joy so much stronger. But the flip side is that pain can feel sharper too. It's why sad movies can absolutely destroy you for a few hours, and why those beautiful, heartfelt moments can make you tear up on the spot. Does any of that sound familiar? This is especially true when it comes to empathy. For someone with high emotional reactivity, another person's pain isn't just some abstract idea you feel sorry about. Your brain actually has these things called mirror neurons, and they can literally mirror what the other person is feeling. You experience a shadow of their hurt almost as if it were your own.
And you know, this wiring often gets its start when we're young. For a lot of people, it's actually a learned adaptation. Just imagine growing up in a home where you had to be super aware of the emotional shifts around you, learning to read the room just to feel safe or connected. That kind of environment basically trains your brain to be an expert feeling detector, to always stay alert. And that deep wiring, it sticks with you.
Now, of course, experiencing the world this intensely, well, it comes with its challenges. And that's exactly why, sometimes, the world can feel like it's just too much.
This right here is such a critical idea to grasp. The issue isn't some flaw inside of you. It's a mismatch between your sensitive system and a world that often rewards being stoic and just moves at this relentless pace. Simply put, deep feelers don't always fit into shallow systems.
And here's why that feeling of overload happens. If you look at this chart, you can see that people with high emotional reactivity tend to get overwhelmed faster, mainly because they're taking in so much more emotional information from the world around them. They also tend to process stress a little more slowly, and they carry that emotional weight for longer. It all just builds up. So, when all that pressure becomes too much, what happens? Tears. Crying isn't a sign that your system is broken, it's a sign that it's working exactly as it should. It is your brain's natural, healthy way of releasing all that built-up emotional pressure and just resetting itself. Think of it like a biological release valve.
And that release valve leads us to our final and honestly most important section. It's time we stop seeing this trait as some kind of burden and start redefining it as the strength that it really truly is. Because on the flip side of all that intensity, you've got some serious superpowers. People who feel deeply are often way more intuitive. They notice the subtle stuff that everyone else misses. They are incredibly compassionate, they're often more creative, and they have a much higher degree of emotional intelligence. They feel connections that others might not even know are there.
So, if you are one of these people, if you cry easily, I really want you to let this next part sink in. You are not broken, you are not fragile, and you are definitely not weak.
All it means is that you are wired to feel this world more intensely than most people ever will.
And that ability to feel, to connect, to empathize so deeply, that is your superpower.
So the only question left is, how are you going to use it?
Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more educational psychology videos from Psychology of Everyday People.